with a reading like that, I kind of want to say, let's just go eat the ice cream. Happy Kickoff Sunday. Welcome back. Whew. And I do actually organize the preaching schedule. You think I would have been more wise as a serpent on this one and maybe given this to any of my colleagues? You can thank me later. But actually, sometimes the hardest passages are the most fun to dig into together. I think that's actually the case with the readings we have this morning. Jesus is saying, if you're going to follow me, if you're going to be on this journey with me, know what you're getting into. This journey of discipleship is not one of comfort and ease. We come here not just to feel good, though it's nice if we leave and we can feel ready to face the world that's waiting for us out there. We come here for transformation, and we come here for the transcendent. And transformation is a fancy word for change. And none of us is a real big fan of change, am I right? But we come here seeking transformation and the transcendent. And that's what these readings are about. And it's a great, great combination of readings for Harry Potter Sunday. Now, I like a good pun, but even I was surprised to see this Jeremiah passage and Jeremiah's parable of the potter and our summer music calendar. That was an accidental pun, which maybe is the best kind. But our scheduling had nothing to do with that particular prophetic parable. But I will say, if we're talking about transformation and the transcendent, then that story of the clay in the potter's hand, being formed and reformed until the potter gets it right, and the clay in partnership with the potter, that's what transformation and this life of discipleship is all about. It's not something we get right the first time or even the 101st time. It's probably not something we get right until we enter our great reward. It's something we work out with God over and over again through our whole lifetime. But I gotta say, when I first read these readings several weeks ago, I thought, oh, what did I get myself into? And really, is this when we're gonna have our Kickoff Sunday, our Sunday, again, let's just go eat the ice cream. But then, I don't know about you, but does anyone here ever just get too full of news? Like, I can't read another headline, I just can't. Well, sometimes when I get to that place, instead of listening to NPR in my car when I'm driving around, I'll listen to a podcast that can bring me some hope. And a couple of weeks ago, I was listening to Oprah's podcast, and she was interviewing David Brooks. Now, if you've paid attention to David Brooks and his writing over the decades, he's been an author and a journalist and a pundit. You've seen him, like that potter's clay, go through some fascinating transformation, and he owns this. He acknowledges that he is on a journey of transformation. He's experimenting with grace in his life. He's seeing how he can continue to learn and grow and become the best David. It's kind of cool to hear him be that vulnerable, actually, especially as a pundit, because pundits are usually in it to say how right they are, right? And he's actually really vulnerable about this. And he was in the interview with Miss Winfrey. And one of the things that just made me laugh out loud and say, thank you, David, you gave me my angle for this sermon on this very difficult gospel, was when he started quoting Augustine of Hippo. Did anyone else hear this interview? No. Oprah's Super Soul podcast, David Brooks, 2 weeks ago. It's wonderful. But he starts quoting Augustine of Hippo, and he's talking about sin. David is talking about sin, so is Augustine. And he references how Augustine of Hippo, this great 4th century church father, said that sin is when we get our loves out of order. Sin is when we get our loves out of order. And really, that's what this gospel is about. Making sure our loves are in order. A little bit about Aramaic and Hebrew rhetoric. There is no nuance. It is not subtle. Hyperbole is when it's Tuesday, if we're speaking in hyperbole in Hebrew and Aramaic rhetoric. And so when we hear Jesus say, unless you hate your whole family, you can't be my disciple. You need to know something about how that word functions in Hebrew and Aramaic, and it does not function as it functions in English. This is why trying to lead our lives based on a 2,000-year-old document written in another language is sometimes hard. Sometimes hard. Hate in this context means something more akin to love less. It doesn't mean wish harm. It doesn't mean abhor. It doesn't mean any of those connotations, wish dead, any of those connotations that hate would have in the English language. We need to know that when we hear this passage. And also remember, this is the 14th chapter of Luke's Gospel. Did anyone remember what happens in the 15th chapter of Luke's Gospel? There are 3 parables, and the last one is a really big one. Anyone want to just reach out there and grab a really well-known parable from Luke's Gospel I might be grasping for right now? It's the prodigal son, okay? Within a chapter, not that Jesus was speaking in chapters, but follow me here. Within a chapter, he's going to use familial love as the context for one of his most beloved parables. So it is not that Jesus thinks we literally have to hate our family, but we need to have our loves in order. We need to have our loves in order. And then he starts saying, you got to count the cost. You have to know what you're getting into being my disciple. Expect things to be different. Make sure you have your loves in order. And then he says, so therefore, none of you can become my disciple if you don't give up all your possessions. And I say, boy, I wish we'd started stewardship this weekend instead. And then I could let you all off the hook and say, we're not asking for 100% of your possessions. Just give us a percentage of your income for God's work. It's like we're actually letting you off the hook compared to Jesus in this parable, in this story, right? Big language. But it's important that we count the cost and realize that transformation means change, intentional change. And being his disciple means getting our loves in order. In his conversation with Miss Winfrey, David Brooks sort of made the example of, if we love family and we love even what money can do for us, but we say we love our family more, but we make choices that look like we love money more, that's problematic, right? Our loves aren't in order. If we say we love our friends, then a friend tells us a secret and we're at a party and we share that secret with someone else, then maybe we love popularity or regard or attention more than we love that friend. Are our loves in order? And so this is a great passage. It's a great passage for Harry Potter Sunday. It's a great passage for Kickoff Sunday. It's kind of like New Year's Day in the church year. We're starting a whole new program year together. Are our loves in order? So I'm going to give you a little homework on this Kickoff Sunday. This afternoon, tomorrow morning, when you're having your second cup of coffee because you need to clear the fog with the first cup, maybe. If you like to journal, maybe try that. If you like to use dictation in your phone and talk to yourself, try that. But see what happens when you list your loves. See if you can put your loves in order. I had fun with this. Okay, I love God, and I love my vocation. Are they the same? Not really. They both really matter. I love my family, and I love my friends who are like my family. Where does my love of creation fit in all of this? Or my love of being creative? So I had some fun thinking about my loves and where they fit and what order they fall into. See what happens when you try that homework. And then ask yourself, okay, if this is what I say is the order of my love, is there disorder? Are my loves disordered? Is my life disordered vis-a-vis my understanding of my loves? And if so, by the way, the answer is probably yes, because human. But if I see that, what are some simple changes I can make to start to realign my life and my loves? Love is why we're here. Love is our purpose. Love is how God made us. Love is why God made us. Love is what God needs from us. And so again, we'll sing later today, "The love you seek is all around you, Harry. Can't you see?" It's love that saves the day. It's sacrificial love. You know, even Snape, spoiler alert, right, lives out a sacrificial love that's transformative. Our love can be so transformative and can bring about an experience of the transcendent as we seek to align our lives with our loves and our loves with the very heart of God.